New York City. The year is 1900. America is entering a new century. Cars were still rare, horses ruled the streets, and the city was changing rapidly. For thousands of immigrants, New York represented something powerful, a chance to start again. They arrived carrying only a few possessions and dreams of a better life. But life in the city was far from easy. Entire families often lived together in tiny, crowded apartments. Outside the home, factories demanded long hours from thousands of workers. The work was exhausting, and for many, dangerous. Yet the city was becoming a center of information, business, and opportunity.
Read all about it! Extra, extra! Read all about it!
And above the streets, something remarkable was rising. The American skyscraper. Steel allowed builders to reach height earlier generations could hardly imagine. New York was beginning to grow upward instead of simply outward. Electric transportation was also changing how people moved through the growing city. For ordinary New Yorkers, the electric streetcar made distant neighborhoods easier to reach. Electricity was slowly changing the city after sunset.
But New York was a city of enormous contrasts.
Some families lived in extraordinary comfort and possessed enormous fortunes. Just blocks away, other families struggled to afford food and shelter. For many families, every meal required careful planning. Children were also part of everyday life. In working-class families, growing up in a rapidly changing city,
markets filled the streets with food, noise, bargaining, and human voices.
For thousands of small vendors, the street itself was their workplace. And the harbor remained, the city's great gateway to the world. For new arrivals, the skyline meant that America was finally within reach. Newspapers spread information across the city at incredible speed. A single headline could suddenly become the subject of conversation everywhere. Entertainment was becoming a major part of city life. Theaters offered New Yorkers a few hours of escape from everyday life. But a rapidly growing city also brought crime, disease, and social tension. The city faced enormous challenges as millions crowded into limited space. Yet New Yorkers kept building. They came from different countries, spoke different languages, and followed different dreams. But they shared something important: the hope that tomorrow could be better. For many, the city was difficult, but it was also full of possibility. And every year, New York grew larger, taller, and more ambitious. The people building the city grew larger, were literally changing the American skyline. And when night arrived, New York refused to become quiet. Restaurants stayed busy, theaters filled, and businesses continued working. Even after dark, the city's presses continued producing tomorrow's news. New York was becoming a city that seemed almost impossible to stop. And the next morning, it all began again. Millions woke up, went to work, and quietly became part of history. They could not know how dramatically their city would change. The world they knew would soon disappear beneath a new American century. But history is not only about buildings and inventions. It is about the people who lived, struggled, dreamed, and carried the city forward. In 1900, they thought they were simply living another ordinary day. But a century later, we would look back and realize they were living through history.